Hey everyone, I am going to be doing some repotting today. Not repotting, I'm just gonna pot up some new stuff that I bought. I figured I could do that on camera and have a little bit of a chit chat. I'm not sure what I'm gonna talk about, kinda just gonna ramble, but let's see how it goes. I picked up some new succulents and a cactus and an adenium, which I guess is a type of succulent. Also, it's been a little bit since I've posted a video. I have another one recorded of me shopping, but since one of my friends from high school pointed out to me that Thick Planter maybe wasn't the best name. So I've done a little bit of a rebrand. If you know me personally, you probably know that my last name is actually Potter, and she told me at Frances Foliage on Instagram, if you want to give her a follow, she has some good stuff. She was just like, why didn't you do Thick Potter? Because it still fits with the plant theme. I can't believe I didn't think of it. And in honor of that, I'm gonna go ahead and rep my Ravenclaw Pride. Yeah. The Eagle, blue and bronze. Even though this is blue and silver because the movies. Ah. But like I said, it's Florida, so ain't nobody got time for that scarf action. So let's get started. First of all, I got these two bear paws. One of them's variegated and one of them isn't. And so I was gonna get those. I'm gonna put them together. Here they are. They're Cotyledon lattimisiensis. Cotyledon lattimisiensis. This one is the standard variety, and this one's variegated. It's not very variegated, but I didn't actually realize that it was a variegated form until I noticed the label said variegata. But it's definitely a different color, and there's a little bit of white in there. I have this soil mixture that I made. It has perlite, orchid bark, some cacti and succulent mix, a little bit of activated charcoal, a wee bit of worm castings, which I know you're not supposed to fertilize cacti and succulents as much as other plants, but there's not too much in there, so I think it'll be fine. And then there's some volcanic rock in there too. Let's get this out. I'm not gonna change the camera angle, so I'm just gonna say this right now. If you can't see this, I'm sorry. I'm gonna pick it up at the end, and I'll probably just edit out the whole repotting part. But here we go. It took me way too long to set up this camera. Here it was very dry, and try and break up the root ball a little bit, as seems to be the trend with my videos. I am going to work later today, just popping out a quick one. I'm going to be gone all weekend, so I didn't want to leave too long without a video. Hopefully I'll edit the one that I already filmed and this one and pump them out this week. These actually have a lot more roots than I would have expected. The second succulent arrangement that I ever bought had one of these, and it's still in my arrangement outside, but if you see the stem where it's sad and pathetic, that's basically what it looks like now. They all just started dropping. It's still alive, it's just not doing well. So hoping that I can provide these with better care than that. I have some just wire screening for like a screen door, and I'm gonna cut a little piece to cover the drainage hole so it doesn't spill out. I also just started putting my camera in 4K. Thank you, Mary J's Plants, for giving me the obvious advice on that. So hopefully this video and the last one look a bit better than the first few. All those unboxing. I'll just use this. Just scoop some of the soil in here. About halfway. It's just a nice little terracotta pot. I like terracotta, but I don't like orange really all that much. In my room, I generally have either the gray terracotta and a bunch of like ceramic pots. But outdoors, especially because I live in Florida, it rains all the time here, and I don't want my plants to get overwatered. The terracotta helps to absorb a lot of the moisture. It's a porous material, so it kind of helps a bit from things getting overwatered. That's a bit too low, so I'm just gonna put a tad bit more soil under here. I know I should probably break up the roots a bit more than I am, but like Laura Eubanks says, with succulents, roots are kind of optional. which isn't entirely true, but the sentiment is, how do I want to arrange this? This one's flopping down a bit, so I don't know if I want to put it over. I think that's pretty good. And then we'll just fill it in. This is a really interesting and high energy video, isn't it? This is the bad part about the bear paws, is they're all fuzzy. They're very cute, but the soil just sticks all in here. They're very prone to getting dirty. But once they get rained on, or I water them a bit, that will be fine. And just hit the sides to try and pack in the soil, help get rid of any air pockets in there. This one's falling, so actually what I'm gonna do, just a mechanical solution, I'm just gonna put a piece of orchid bark under there to kind of hold that leaf up. So there's one. Next up, I have a pretty generic Crassula ovata, just a money jade. I've also heard it called silver dollar jade, but I know that there's another silver dollar jade, so I don't know if that's entirely proper. The other ones that I have are very compact, but I like how this one's getting stemmy. It's kind of tree-like. I just like the look, and I wanted it. There seems to be quite a bit of perlite in here, so I think I'm just gonna leave the root ball intact for the most part. Alright, so this video is really boring so far. Like I said, I'm going to be away for the weekend. I'm going to EDC Orlando. It's a music festival, if any of you don't know. So that should be really fun. I'm going with some friends. I'm going to stay in Orlando and partay. It's called the Electric Daisy Carnival. So maybe I can bring some electric daisies home to add to my plant collection. I've been before, and there are a little bit of wooded areas, but now that I've been paying attention to plants more, maybe it'd be kind of cool if I noticed some plants there. But there's a lot more plant shops in Orlando, so maybe I'll try and stop by before, after the festival, not after, the festival ends at midnight, but before the festival starts. So far I've been to Appenberry's and Palmer's Garden Goods in Orlando, and both of them were really nice. So I got my speckled Hoya pubicalyx and my Cutlass aglaonema from Appenberry's, and my hanging planter that the speckled Hoya is in, and the hanging planter that I have my Nepenthes in, and the blue pot that I have my Peperomia piccolobanda were from Palmer's. They had a large Nepenthes. It looked really nice, but the pictures weren't. There's one of them that was brown, but I didn't have a Nepenthes, so I wanted to start with a smaller one in case I mess up and really learn. Yeah, I'm just doing a simple potting up. Nothing too fancy. Does anyone know what these are? They look like they might be egg sacs. Every time I see them, maybe it's a slow release fertilizer, or maybe it's an egg sac, but it's in potting soil a lot. I don't know if you can see it. It's an orange ball, and now it's bouncing that way. I don't know what it is. There's only like 2 or 3 in each pot ever, at the most. Sometimes there's none, but I see it often. So those are fungus gnat egg sacs or something, or spiders. If they're spiders, that's fine. Not in my room as much, but out here, that's fine. If you know what those are, just let me know. This cactus, I have been wanting one of these cacti for a while. I keep seeing them in arrangements, but they're generally arrangements that I don't, either I'm not as interested in the other specimens, or I already have them. Excuse me. Or I already have them, so I didn't want to buy a whole arrangement for $20, $25 just for this one little cactus. But now I found it. So it's an Opuntia falcata, or falsata. I'm assuming it's falcata. That would be my guess. And it's also known. I feel like the kid from Charlie Brown. There's a fly. Did you get it? I'm sorry, fly. I don't like killing things. I did not get it. That's gonna be for some fun bloopers, me hitting myself in the face. But I finally got one, and so I'm gonna pot it up on its own. Originally when I wanted one, I wanted to put it in that cactus trough that I have, which I'm not sure if you guys have seen yet. There's a green anole. Like I said, I am not going to change the camera angle, so I'm not going to show you. But there's a big green anole on the screen. There's lots of brown anole, Cuban brown anoles around here, the little lizards. But the green ones you don't see as much, especially not that big. It's probably, with the tail, it's probably that big. Oh. The green ones are actually the native species, but they're outcompeted here, so they tend, since all the brown anoles have come in, from what I was reading, the green anoles live up further in the trees now. Because the brown anoles will eat their eggs and their babies. So, I don't see any like noticeable glaucids on here that are gonna fuck me up, but pardon, demonetized. I'm not monetized, so it's okay. But after that cinnamon cactus incident, I'm not going to take a chance. So I'm gonna go ahead and handle this here from the bottom, try not to touch it. This is really wet, and I've had it out here for a while in this plastic pot, so there's quite a lot of roots. They're not really holding on to this as well too much. But there's no root rot either. I don't know if I said it, but it's called a Caribbean tree cactus. I just touched a spike and it didn't do anything. So hopefully I will not go to work with needles in my fingers today. We shall see. By the way, I've made some new Instagram and YouTube friends. One of them being My Clean Leaves. I submitted a question and she gave me a little shout out when she answered it, so that was really sweet. The niche celebrities with the plant community is kind of funny. I felt starstruck. She's actually one of the people who I watched her care videos when I first got succulents and cacti and her repotting outside. I think it was one of the videos where she was moving things in from the winter last year. Was the first video that I saw. I hope I'm enunciating. I have a mumbling problem, which probably doesn't coincide with being a YouTuber very well. Ah! Curl these roots up a little bit. They were going pretty deep in that pot. I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna top dress these. I have some pebbles, so I might. But I haven't decided. Here's another one of those yellow balls. I always toss them out because maybe I'm wrong, but I just have a feeling that they're egg sacs. I'm gonna leave this off center a little bit. I like the look. Ah! Yeah, this one actually I probably will top dress just because he's still a little floppy. But there we go. This next plant I think is a really cool one. It's starting to yellow a little bit, but hopefully once I pot it up with some fresh soil, it'll do better. But I was looking at plants at work and I was like, oh, what's this one? It looks kind of cool. And then, I don't know. God, this pot.